Hi guys, so today I am going to try to convince you to read The Wind Knows My Name, or in Spanish is El Viento Conoce Mi Nombre by Isabel Allende. It was my absolute favorite book last year, and I'm going to read first my Goodreads review, and then I'm going to read my activity throughout the book because I was going through it the whole time, and I'm trying to leave it spoiler free. But here we go. My review starts with a quote from the book, and it says, El trauma no se supera, simplemente se aprende vivir con él. Translated, it means trauma is not overcome. We simply learn to live with it. And I think that says enough about what I went through in this book. So my review continues to say, I don't think I will ever emotionally recover from this book. I've been crying since chapter 1, and I still have not recovered. I read this last January. It has been a year exactly. I read it January 14th, 2024. We are January 13th. This video is going to go up January 14th. I have still not emotionally recovered from this book. That's all you need to know. And then it continues to say, this book tells the story of many immigrants who found themselves in the States one way or another, some with no family here nor there. With each story, we learn how lonely it can feel to have only the wind know your truths. And if this is not true, like, are you kidding? It's so beautifully written because I have so many secrets in my life, and I have gone through so much that I wouldn't tell my best friend. I wouldn't tell my mom. It's just between me. I always say it's between me and the moon, okay? But like this book basically says, like, it's between me and the wind. The wind is everywhere. The wind can feel and sense everything. And that is so amazing. My review continues to say, I wish I could give Anita and Samuel a big hug. Honestly, all of them, every single person in this book needs a hug, but I relate to them more because it is so hard to relive the traumas of being migrated to a country when you were so young that you don't truly remember your first home. I saw myself in a lot of the stories. I related to so many of the characters, or have known many to have suffered like they did. This book is so important, especially in times like these, because it tells the story of so many who will not and cannot be heard. Isabel Allende, you are the greatest author of our time, truly, and of my mom's time, honestly. And you capture the struggles of the migrant's life in such an eloquent and heartwarming way. Thank you for telling their stories, our stories, my story. And then I end it with another quote, which says, No estamos perdidas, el viento conoce mi nombre y también el tuyo. And that translates to, we are not lost. The wind knows my name and yours too. Now to my activity. Please, guys, I'm going to try my best to let it all out here, and I'm going to try my best to let you guys know what I was going through. But when I tell you I was going through it, I mean, I was dry heaving, I was sobbing, I had to shower, I needed to throw the book away. I then moved on to the audiobook, and that was worse. There was so much emotion in this book. I'm not even ashamed of it, and that's why I keep pushing for everyone to read it. I finally found my activities. So, 12% in, I quote it, and I think if I quote this quote, it might ruin it, but it literally says, he was deported. He was deported. That was part of my quote. And I reacted with, my heart just dropped. I'm going to be sick. I just ruined my makeup. This book might just kill me because now who am I following? I did not read the synopsis before, so I didn't know what time period it was set in. And I love a historical fiction, but I was not prepared, okay? 23% in. Why are we introducing new characters who will break my heart? Why does she do this to me? Because I was finally getting over it. I was like, okay, we grow, we continue, it's fine. And then bam, somebody else to love, a new character unlocked. I was not okay. 38% in. Currently reading from a different point of view. This person is being held in a detention camp. I felt sick. I was literally sobbing. I don't even think this is going to convince you guys to read it, but I just need to share the emotions, okay? 38%. She just started singing a song that my grandma used to sing to me. If you're a Latina and your grandparents are from the 30s or before the 60s and you are like first gen here, you would know this song. I'm not going to sing it because I need you to know what that emotion felt like. But it was in black and white right there. And oh my gosh, when I tell you, at this point I had already moved on to the audiobook because I could not control I kept having to shut the book. I had already moved on to the audiobook. And when I heard that in my ears, that song, I almost threw my phone away. I had to stop. I had to stop completely and go hug my daughter. I had to get all of my teddy bears and just like calm myself down. I was not emotionally okay. So 38% into the book, I said she was singing the song that my grandma used to sing to me. And I'm reminded of how my immigrant story is so different from others, but I could have easily been her. And I was not mentally okay. I literally put, I don't know if I'm mentally healthy enough to finish this book. Also at 38%, another quote, which I had in my review, this was probably one of the top quotes, in my opinion, of the book. And it was the No estamos perdidas, el viento conoce mi nombre y también el tuyo. Yeah, not okay at that point. 74%, I think I needed a break, and I said I can't keep updating because I was going to spoil it all, and I kept crying and crying and crying. I did a lot of crying. But this was like the only good reaction I had. And I said, I love a good chismosa. I love a good gossip because so much information can be found through them. And then I moved on and I said, this character, when I find you, it's on sight. I said, I hope you're in a grave and that it's always stepped on. There was so much hatred coming throughout my body, and I stand on that. I stand on that. And anybody that is like this one character, yeah, I hope bad things happen. I hope your pillow is always warm and you find a worm in every apple you bite into for the rest of your life. And then 78% in after that as well. Actually, blank character, when I see you, it's on sight for you too. I was not okay. I was not okay. Still mad. I'm actually still upset. Yeah. 86%. How did it get even worse? Their lives, not the book. My emotions are a wreck. 86% into the book, it got worse. It got worse. I was already bad, and then it was so bad, but so good. And 96%. The book starts in the past and continues into more current event. It was currently talking about COVID-19, and they're talking about planning a Women's Day for resistance. And I was like, so at this point, I just was not even in it. And I was like, there's no way that they're mentioning this, because that's something that affected me, and that's something that I went through, and all of this stuff. And so now it kind of brought to light all of these things are happening now, and that wrecked me. I only had 4% left of the book, but I think in my mind, with historical fiction specifically, I'm like, oh, that happened in the past. That's not now. That's not happening right now. But then for it to bring other real world events that were affecting me, it put me in a tizzy. You guys. Anyways, if you want to get emotionally wrecked by a book, like you've never been emotionally, physically, mentally wrecked, please read the book. I absolutely recommend it. I also recommend scheduling a therapy appointment immediately after. And I recommend that you call your mom, call your family members, have some emotional support ready for you. Make sure you read this with your favorite hot chocolate, your favorite tea, and some snacks. Also, don't read it if you have makeup on or if you have an important event happening the next day, because your eyes will be swollen and you will be crying nonstop. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this recommendation and happy reading.